Hello and welcome to Auto Start Test. Today we've got the Kii Sorento GT-Line. Okay, inside it's very nice. It's quite plush. I really like the piping detail of the GT-Line seats, and this particular model has got perforated vinyl, so it's much more comfortable. You don't get so sweaty when it's too hot. The armrest is in a nice comfortable position for me, so I can relax as I'm driving. The armrest has a really large storage space, even with its own parcel shelf. Let's see, we can pretty much fit. What's that? That's a 75 centilitre bottle of water. Very nice, plenty of room in there. This particular model is an automatic, so that gives us loads of room in between the driver and the passenger seat, because obviously you don't need the movement of the gear stick, so the cup holders don't get in the way when you're trying to change gear. They're quite clever, these little cup holders, because they adjust to the size of your cup or your bottle, which is I think is a nice little touch. When you sat in the driver's seat, the clocks are quite large and very bright and clear. The speedometer is large, but that gives loads of room for the information panel in the middle, which is also nice and clear. The steering wheel has a heated function, which I know it's not new, but it's very welcome on a cold December morning like today. We've got all the buttons for the systems there and the flappy paddle gearbox behind. The dashboard itself is a mould, which is nice, but I'm not too keen on the seam detail they've moulded in there. If it was actually a vinyl or a leather, I could understand it, but it's not for me. The multimedia screen is quite large. It's really good, really nice and clear. They've moved the buttons into the screen itself, into the panel there, rather than having them below here. We have the aircon panel with all the buttons to operate that. Under here we have the heated seats, and quite important today, the heated steering wheel function. Down here we have a little compartment there covered in the Pano black, which is nice. We have two 12-volt chargers hiding in there, auxiliary, USB, and down in the base of it, it's an induction charger, so if you've got a phone that can operate that, you can just drop it in there and charge your phone while you're going. The sun visors are nice and large. One thing I do particularly like about these is they have this extra bit here, so when the sun's just at that angle blinding you and you can't get away from it, that's perfect. The mirror is large. Bit disappointed that you have to switch it on yourself and not with the door. In the centre we have passenger lights, interior lights and interior light switches. Just a bit disappointed with that they're not LED. One feature I especially like about the interior is the piano black plastic swoops around the whole cockpit to the driver's door here. I really like that. I think it breaks up the vinyl and the plastics and looks really nice. On the driver's door There's quite a hard plastic here, but there's a bit of give in it. There's plastic there. One thing I do like is the driver's door handle is got a nice vinyl on it with a really nice seam detail in there. Gives it a retro 50s look to the interior. Down at the bottom we've got a nice reasonably large bottle holder there. In the glove compartment we have your Kia Bible. Not really a lot of space in there for anything else. You will, if you wanted to use it, you would have to take away the books first, and it really is only enough space for your gloves. In my driving position, I've got a really good amount of room here. There's plenty of room here for my legs and my knees. With it being the automatic version, I would kind of tend to sit differently than a manual. This side, with my foot on the accelerator, I've got loads of room around here. Nice comfortable armrest. Above my head, well, there's got to be nearly 20 centimetres there. 15 centimetres, maybe 20. Loads of room up there. Okay, Leo, sitting in a comfortable driving position, has a hand's width of room above his head there. And down at his knees to the top of the driver area there's a good 5 centimetres of room in a relaxed position. Not so much at the sides of his legs there, although Leo is about a foot taller than I am, so that will make a huge difference. One thing I especially like about the front of the car is not only are the seats electric, but there are buttons on the side so that the driver can operate the passenger seat when they need to. When I'm sitting in the rear seat behind my driver position, well, I've got loads of room. I've got 20 centimetres for my knees there, loads of room to the side, a good hand's width above my head there. Okay, this is Leo sitting in the rear seats behind his driver position. The headroom, there's a decent amount of headroom, a good hand's width again. His knees, there's very little room for his knees there, and that back of that chair is quite a hard plastic, so have you got plenty of room at the side there, Leo?
Yes,
yeah, there's plenty of room there at the side for his legs. He is a tall...
The problem is with the higher shoes, you don't have much space there.
Ah, right. So, but Leo is a very tall man. So, if you've got 2 rear seat passengers and you need a bit of extra space in the boot, this centre seat drops down completely, so you can fit longer things in there. In the middle of the seat here, we've got the armrest with 2 cup holders, which is nice. The floor in the rear of the car is completely flat. There's no tunnel there in the middle, so if someone is sat in the middle, they've got lots of leg room. Behind the front seats, we've got this plastic panel to finish that. We've got the netting for the books and bits and pieces in the back here. We've got the aircon control here, a 12-volt outlet and a USB outlet down there, which is essential nowadays. The seats for comfort in the rear recline slightly, which is nice. And the door cards in the rear of the car are the same pretty much as the front. They've got the nice piano back detail swooping around there. The plastic, oh, this isn't quite as sumptuous as the one in the front, but the same detail. Very nice. The headrest in the front does the forward motion for comfort on 2 settings and has 6 raised settings. To the rear, there isn't really a headrest. Oh no, there is a headrest in the middle. What about that? That's got 1 setting there. This one has 3 settings, so on each side of the car there's 3 comfort levels. Now we're going to demonstrate how much space there is with a full-size baby seat in here. Okay, with 2 adults and a baby seat in the middle, it's quite cramped. There's not a lot of shoulder room in the inside of the car there, so I'd definitely say this particular seat would be for 2 adults or 3 children. But we do have lots of space for our legs, and on this side of the car there's oodles of room for comfort. You can lean into the door a bit, which will provide a bit more comfort for me anyway, but without the child seat in the middle, you could comfortably fit a person there, a small person. In the boot with the rear seats in the upright position, it's a big boot. You can fit loads of luggage in there. Even with this amount of luggage, we've still got oodles of room in the back there. In the very last compartment here, in the boot floor, we've got the parcel shelf, so we can hide that out the way when we don't need it. And then we've got the basic survival kit in there for changing your wheels, etc. When the far rear seats are in the upright position, they've got a cup holder and a compartment here on the opposite side of the car. They've even got their own little climate control here for this seating area. Now, one feature I'm especially impressed with is collapsing the rear seats from the rear of the car just could not be easier. And look at that space. I mean, you could camp in there. You could literally sleep in this car. This car is very long. To get the far rear seats into the upright position, you simply pull that cord and up it pops. Same on the other side. Need a bit of a tug there. So that's that. When you want to access the far rear seats, you simply pull this lever at the side of the chair. Then you just reach down under the seat, slide it forwards, and you're in. Now, there's a fair amount of room in the back here. The seats are comfy, to say they're only meant to be used on occasion. Very nice. Now, unfortunately, you've got a very tiny boot in the back there, but if you only need the one extra person in the car, you can drop one of the passenger seats down, which will give you back the boot space that you've lost. Good for shopping trips, I'd say. So, that was our review. If you liked the video or not, comment below. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, or at autostarttest.com. And for now, look after yourselves and your 4 wheels, and we'll see you in the next one. Now, you just reach down under the seat. You're not fucking kidding. You can't move that.